Looks like this finishes right at the end of chapter 4, so you see these close-ups, so some fear on Peter's face. And there's that close-up where he says, "Oh no," right at the end of chapter 4. Let's see what's going on in chapter 5. The Osborne Mansion, Harry Osborne's bedroom. Harry! What the? Mom! Mom! The whole place is erupting in flames. Mom! Mom? Notice that hole in the wall right there. You got this figure outside the window. Another close-up. Look at that. Harry's blue eyes. And you've got this horned figure. Kind of looks like the devil with flames in his hands. I think we can guess who that is. Ba-boom! Oh god, oof! Please somebody help! As his house is erupting in flames. Yes, we heard a noise in the back. And to be honest, we both thought it was Peter. Because Peter uses the back entrance most of the time. But Ben called out to him, and he didn't answer. And right then, I don't know why, but right then I knew something was wrong. I knew that someone was in our house. I could just tell from the kind of silence. Both of you were in the living room. Yes. And I think Ben knew something was wrong too, because he got up first. He got up and he called out to Peter again. There was nothing for a second. Then we heard a pan drop. Ben looked at me and said he thought a squirrel got in the house. I said I never heard of that happening in Queens. Then I looked in the doorway of the kitchen, and there he was. Uh-oh. He was standing there in the doorway. He was shaking, and he asked us where we kept our money. Ben told him we didn't have any, and we didn't. Nothing. And the guy just got real agitated and screamed, "Give me all your money!" And Ben, I guess it was just the tension of the situation, the ridiculousness, I don't know. The way things have been going lately. But Ben, he kind of chuckled and said, "You probably have more money than we do." And the chuckle kind of, I don't know, it really made him mad. What happened next, ma'am? And that was it. He just ran out the way he came and... oh no. And this is that full-page crime scene image right here. So, just based on the details in this text and just the tears streaming from Aunt May's eyes, I think we know now what happened. Uncle Ben is dead. Take a moment here. I'm gonna leave the image. Well, here, I will zoom out a bit so you can see this image a little bit better. If I go maybe put the screen. Nope. Well, yeah. And let this image load so you can see this page a little bit better. And then from there I'll point out some of the details before we move on. This might be a good spot to pause your video and answer those questions, or answer any questions in the study guide so far that you can, including this one. I'll share those details in just a moment here. So there's a lot going on artistically on this page. There's a couple of things that stand out to me, although different things stand out to different people. One thing that I think is really glaring is just this tape outline of Uncle Ben's body at the bottom of the panel right there. And you see a lot of blood right in the center. So he must have been shot in the chest and fell to the floor. For a lot of people, the most striking detail is actually the bloodstains on Aunt May's chest as well. She must have held him as he was dying. A couple other details that kind of stick out. Again, facial expressions. So notice how serious the police are. This guy, I guess he's a medical examiner or some kind of first responder, a paramedic. He strikes me the most, actually. Not just kind of the sadness on his face, but I also just notice what kind of a guy he is. Notice he's got a bunch of piercings in his ears. It's just a reminder that this text takes place in New York City, and there's a lot of different kinds of people in New York City. You've got hardworking families like Aunt May and Uncle Ben. You've got Peter, who's just going through this emotional time in his life. You've got the inspector, and this police officer right here, who are very serious in their demeanors. This guy is like a picture of what I would imagine a New York City police officer looking like. And then you got this paramedic or medical examiner here as well. Couple other things, details of the crime. Looks like there was a struggle. For my CSI or Law and Order fans in here, notice the scattered cards on the floor. Like this got knocked over. What else to notice? Notice this guy. He's measuring. Looks like distance between bullet shell casings. Just to see where the gunman was standing, where he was firing. There's a lot of details in this image. There's also this body bag that's easy to miss. Obviously, Uncle Ben is inside of that. One more detail that I find striking are these photos on the wall. I'm imagining that that's probably a young Uncle Ben, right where my cursor is now, and then Aunt May and Uncle Ben right behind Peter right here. It's just a reminder of how important Uncle Ben was to this family. Let's go back fit to width, and let's continue. Notice, too, kind of the tragedy of all of this. Peter was on his way home to explain his new powers to Aunt May and Uncle Ben, and now he can't. Uncle Ben is dead. You two will stay with us tonight. What are we going to do, Peter? Oh, no. Units respond to a 340 at Chelsea and 9th. Copy, dispatch. Do you guys have any spare cars over there? We have a 340. We're almost done here. What's up? We got a guy. Tried to rob a Popeye's chicken, not 2 blocks from where you are. 3 squad cars were parked out front, and the guy still thought he could take the place. They chased him into an abandoned warehouse, and they're requesting backup. Man, the idiot brigade is out in full force tonight. Yeah, we'll send car 444 down over now. Over. Over. I wish. Go on over and be a cop. Oh, I missed one. Sorry. A foot chase? Maybe the same guy who perpetrated this whammy. I wish. Go on over and be a cop. Peter grabs his bag and goes, Peter? Peter! It's okay, ma'am. Kids take these things the hardest. Life lessons. The kid's just gotta find a way to let it out. As he's getting into his SpiderMan suit. Oh, I was wrong. There is this image again. I'm not sure why they use a full page panel like that, but it transitions into the next page anyway. We're not going to wait here all night, pal. Be smart and cooperate. Officers at 412, backup is on the way. That's good news, dispatch. I would like to finish my dinner. Call on the update. Over. Sure, over. Pigs are everywhere. Looks like this gunman is holed up in this building. The only way out is through the front door. If we have to charge in there, it ain't going to be pretty. Take you with me if I have to. Pieces of garbage. Gonna get out of here one way or another. That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. Facial expressions. Murderer! Yeah, blam, blam, blam. Everyone down! I must be seeing things. I must be out of my thump. Oof. Maybe he popped himself. You wish. What is this? What's going on? I gotta hide. Mister, there is nowhere on earth you'll be able to hide from me. Yar! Pock! You can't. Yeah, well, you should have thought about that before you... That face. It's... Oh no, it can't be. Get out of my way! Ow! Why didn't you stop him? Not my job. Not your job? All you had to do was trip him, stick your foot out, and he's kissing pavement. Well, sorry, but that really isn't my department, is it? I got my own problems, big guy. I think there was that study guide question about blue images, right? Why do the artists turn these images blue? I think you can tell right now that they use blue to show flashbacks right here. This is Peter's memories, where he recognizes this gunman who's killed Uncle Ben. It's the same robber that he could have stopped earlier in the text, after he got kicked off the wrestling show. And what did Peter say? I've got my own problems. This ain't my job. You probably have more money than we do. He hasn't come out the back either, Captain Stacy. Your call. Should we call SWAT? I wish I could make like a window breaking sound right there. Peter obviously throws him out the window. Attached to a rope so he doesn't die. That's a cool image. It's a Spider-Man superimposed against the moon. The place is empty. We found the gun, but... And then he's gone. What happened in there? Seeing things. Seeing things. What? What did you see? This is a powerful page right here, so I gotta deliver this in my speech-making voice. You told me. You told me. Your father. He believed that if there were things in this world that you had to offer that you did well, better than anyone else, things that you could do that helped people or made people feel better about themselves, well, he believed that it was your responsibility to do those things. Why didn't you stop him? Not my job. Great things are going to happen to you in your life, Peter. Great things. And with that will come great responsibility. Do you understand? I do now. Powerful speech right there. So Peter is remembering just the last conversation he had with Uncle Ben about power and responsibility. He says, I understand responsibility now. I was selfish. So selfish, and you paid the price. You did. I did. Aunt May did. I will never ever forgive myself for that. I will never ever forget that I could have stopped it. Think of this like a movie once again. I told you I love the artwork in this chapter. Think of this like a movie. So you've got like this montage of Spider-Man saving people from fires and stopping crimes. And in the meantime, he's kind of rehearsing this speech in his head. Just seeing if there's anything else in that panel. It's all so clear now, Uncle Ben. It's like I've been wearing a blindfold and earmuffs all my life, and someone just ripped them off me. I see the world clearly now, and I see what my place is in it. You are right. With power comes responsibility. Absolutely. For some reason, I've been given great power. And with great power, then must come great responsibility. I will never let you down again, Uncle Ben. So notice what he's done as Spider-Man on this page. He's rescued a couple of kids from a fire. He saved this woman, probably from getting mugged. Looks like she was getting mugged at knife point. He beat up an entire gang of guys trying to rob an ATM. And there's this guy who's pocketed, maybe from the same gang, he's pocketed some cash in this bag that he's about to jump onto also. Here's where we get to the last couple panels in this chapter. We're really flying through this text, which is awesome. I'm hoping you're getting some good study guide answers right here. This is easily my favorite couple of pages in the entire text, and you'll see why in a moment. Peter's walking home, and who does he see but Mary Jane? Now, notice our study guide question. I'm going to make sure I get the wording right on this one. The last one in this chapter. Well, let's actually answer 4 real quick. Title of this chapter is Life Lessons. What lesson does Peter learn here? He learns that he must, or let's say that he has the responsibility to use his new powers for good. He finally learns that lesson that Uncle Ben was trying to share with him earlier, that he's got great power, and Uncle Ben didn't even know about his spider powers. He knew that Peter was smart and strong, and that things are changing for him. But Peter understands now that he has a responsibility to use these new powers for good, as Uncle Ben taught him. Look at Mary Jane's stances. How does her body look on these last couple pages in this chapter? What do they say about her character? Let's get it. This stance especially is a helpful one. How are you doing? I don't know. Your aunt is staying with us. Good. They asked me to wait here for you. Bring you back to our place if you want. I was so worried. And we get the last image, the last panel on this chapter, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Last panel in this chapter is just them crumpled over, Mary Jane holding Peter as he cries, knowing that he has lost a great person in his life. One thing I just realized for the first time, this line, your aunt is staying with us. I've never realized it before, but that would imply that Peter is not staying with them. So, just to continue just this turbulence, this tough time that Peter's going through, he's not even staying with Aunt May right now. I don't know if he's in their house where Uncle Ben died still, or if he's still staying with a friend or whatever it might be. I just noticed that for the first time. Let's talk about Mary Jane's stances. The question that I like to think about here is who is the hero on these pages. We've just seen Peter being the hero, so Spider-Man's the hero on these pages. But notice who's the strong one here. Peter, head down. Mary Jane, rising, tall, fists clenched, hair blowing in the wind with Peter in the background, right? Peter, head down, tears coming out of his eyes, crumpled down to the ground. I think these stances, especially this one that my cursor is on right now, suggest that Mary Jane is the hero on these pages. That her character, that she is also brave and strong in a way that Spider-Man is not. I think that's one of the themes of this text too, especially from this chapter, is that you don't have to have superpowers to be a hero, right? Peter's a hero as Spider-Man, but he's also made some big mistakes as a person. Who stands up on this page especially is Mary Jane. She's the hero here, and it's because of the strength of her heart, it's the strength of her character, it's the strength of her caring, of her emotions, of her personality for Peter right now. She's the hero on these pages.